One thing I'm sick of having to explain is why I have 8 baby daddies. Okay, so I'm explaining this one time for y'all, so it won't be any more questions. Okay, let me explain this. If you have one and you take away one, you have 0. But if you have 8 and you take away 3, you still have 5.
So the opening TikTok was of this lady talking about having 11 children by 8 different men. And as you can guess, it got some of the traditional responses that you might expect. The real question is how baby daddy number 6, 7, and 8 allow themselves to be number 6, 7, and 8. I could never. And responses like, Jesus, we are lost. Or why don't you explain why you're on birth control? Or for the love of God, stop reproducing. And so these are kind of traditional responses that you would expect. But buried in the responses was one, did I count 11? No, this woman is queen status. Somebody toss her a crown. So what I want to talk about today is this simple idea that is not simply propagating through Western culture, but propagating throughout the world, is this idea that all women can live the life of 20% of the men. So usually when you hear the double standard argument for having multiple baby mothers versus multiple baby fathers, it sounds a lot like this.
The thing I find so double standard about this world is how a guy can have multiple children with different women and he gets praised for that. But as soon as a woman has multiple children with different men, she gets bashed for that, and people start to assume her life story and as if they know her situation. Because if you're going to bash that woman for that, you need to bash that male for that.
Okay, so by this logic, she's right. If everything is equal and men are treated 100% equal to women, she's right. This is fair. There's a small problem with that argument, though. So these are numbers for men that are fathers in 2014. All fathers, 61%. Biological fathers, 60%. Have children with more than one person, 8.7%. Less than 9% of men over the age of 15 in America in 2014 had multiple baby mothers. 9%. Less than 9%. The other 91%, they had children with one woman or 0 women. 9% of men were in that exclusive group of men that were able to procreate with multiple women. For women, and you saw this if you were following me or you one of my subscribers, 1 in 5 of all American moms have kids who are by different fathers. So 20% of women, and this is 2011, so if you extrapolate 10 years from that, that number could easily be 25%. It could be 30%. Who knows? 28% of women who had multiple kids had at least 2 different fathers. So this is not an exclusive group. It is much easier for a woman to do this. And the weird part is, if you consider this group, it's possible that these group of men are the ones that are having the multiple kids with multiple women. So that group is an even smaller group of men that are part of the selection group, right? And so this is an argument for being equal to the 8.7% of men that are reproducing with multiple women, not the 93%, 92% of men, 91% of men that are either not procreating or have procreated with only one woman. This is equality to the top 9% of men. Continuing.
And for that, you need to bash that male for that. Point blank, period. And a lot of you got to open your eyes to the real issue. A lot of these dudes have multiple children with different women, and they have neglected each and every one of their children they have created with all those women. Because deadbeats love to repeat the pattern. They love to repeat what they're doing. They just do it to different women. Because history repeats itself. But a lot of y'all don't want to see that. As if it's not an issue. Y'all expect women to be lower than men.
Okay, so her argument is basically that it should be equal on both sides, but the numbers don't show that it's equal on both sides. The numbers show that there's 25% of women that are somewhat living like the top, I guess you could call it top, the exclusive 8.7% of men. And all things considered, that number might be smaller or bigger, but you're talking about 10% of men that have this exclusive ability to pick mates who will not only, do the do with them, but will also choose to keep the child. That's a very exclusive group of men. And now you're seeing all women want to act in that way. And of course, you get the darn right reaction to this. So that seems to be the direction to where we're moving. Now for the scary part. So remember, in the census chart, that is 8.79% of men that have multiple baby mothers. And the great overwhelming majority of men don't have that. But now we're in an age where all women want the same lifestyle as that top 10, 15, 20% man. And it looks like this.
Why do you have so many baby daddies?
I have so many baby daddies because, number one, I'm very f***ing fertile.
That we know.
Let's just start there. And I don't
Join
believe,
the club.
Yeah. I don't believe in hoarding human beings in my life. When your time has expired in my life, on to the next. I'm not bound by societal norms. I feel like if we tried it and it didn't work out, and I've always wanted to have either 2 or 3 children, but I'm not going to slow down the plans I have for my life because I'm not working out with one guy. MacGyver, when things don't work out, if I have an award from YFM for radio and my relationship with YFM doesn't work out, I'm not going to go to Metro FM and not try get an award.
Yeah.
You understand? So by the time I get to Kaya FM, I would have had an award from YFM, an award from Metro FM, an award from Kaya FM. So that's how I look at my life, right?
Okay, so in case you're not privy to the radio stations he's talking about, YFM and Kaya FM and Metro FM are radio stations in South Africa. So these are South African radio hosts. And I think she said the name MacGyver. He's a popular radio host from what I researched. And I do believe that she is also a radio host. And so this is a view that's being held in South Africa. So continuing.
Are the award that I got from a failed relationship. And they make my life okay. Yeah. So society has a tendency to say, yeah, your value has gone down. No, I've got a line of guys wanting to be with me. Guys, the value is up. The price has gone.
Okay, so therein lies the example that I was talking about. You're seeing more and more women wanting to live the life of the top 10% of men. And I'm not sure where that's going to go, but what I want to point out in this video is that it is outrunning us. It is everywhere. It is spreading. So this that maybe guys are looking to kind of end around, just do your proper vetting. Do your vetting, gentlemen. Make sure you got to do your vetting thoroughly, because the tentacles are spreading, and the idea of traditional it's receding in a world where these progressive values are kind of spreading their tentacles. And if you want tradition, do your homework and do your vetting. That's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later, guys.